So, what's been happening in the world of tech? And I'm going to go into a little bit of a review, and I'm going to try to do this on a weekly basis to try to give everyone a little bit of an idea of what's been happening. Now, unless you've been living underneath a rock, you would be you would know all about Chat GTP, or the new AI bot that everyone is madly trying to understand and how to use. Some are trying to work out how to break it, others are trying to work out how they can actually use it to value for their business. Now, this is AI is nothing new. It's just finally become more accessible to everyone. So what's been happening with that is that now all of the tools and the AI has become, or this technology has become sort of to the point where it's now feasible to start rolling it into more and more products. We've developed the models that we can use that are starting to provide valuable insights. Well, unless you're Google, and they've still got some tweaking to do with their Bard AI. But we're talking about OpenAI, which has been invested and been supported by Microsoft, and Microsoft themselves are putting billions of dollars into this and are really now just starting to aggressively roll out AI and machine learning into every one of their products that they can. So first off is Bing. Now, Bing is Microsoft's search engine that we've seen and most people loathe, but it's still there. It's the second competitor to Google in terms of use and numbers. Now, Microsoft is hoping to change this by integrating the Chat API or Chat AI capabilities in there, so that instead of searching the way you do traditionally on Google, you'll be able to just ask Bing, hey, I'm looking for a recipe for pizza, for example, and it will spit out a recipe, and then it'll allow you to refine that around what sort of toppings would you like, and what sort of style. Cool. Now, that's not the only thing. Now, the one thing to note with that is that Microsoft is putting a few caveats in terms of getting at least early access to that particular technology. Is they're saying, well, if you want it, that's cool, but turn on all the defaults in Windows. Yes, Windows only. And then we will allow you to use it. So you set Bing as your default search engine, use Edge as your web browser, and a few other things so that you're going fully all in on Microsoft's technologies. Now, this is not the only announcement that Microsoft has been making. Their subsidiary business GitHub, which is where all the source code for a significant number of projects, I'd say just about all of them that matter, are stored on this platform, especially all the open source ones. Now, Microsoft is rolling out their own, or GitHub is rolling out an AI that allows software developers to use the knowledge, or the vast volume of information that's stored on the platform to produce code. Yes, conversational programming is getting very, very close. You can just put in a few words and say, this is the sort of software I'd like to develop, and the automation will go ahead and build you the framework and get you started. It's it's early days, but this could be game changing. The other thing is that we look across over in the Microsoft 365 platform, and we've got new announcements around what Microsoft is doing with Power Automate. There's also Power Apps and the other elements in their Power Platform where you can actually type in a few words to describe what it is you would like to create, the type of automation or the type of app you would like to create, and the system will go away and start building that for you based on machine learning and artificial intelligence. This is really great because, especially in the Power Automate platform, because it's not really user friendly for a non technical audience. Unlike its competitor of Zapier, which is quite a lot more friendly. So the Power Automate system, so you can do this and it will go and create most of it. You do a few little tweaks, click go, and you've published your automation, right? Sounds fantastic. I can't wait to test it out. It still hasn't come into my tenant. The other thing that we're seeing is we're sort of seeing a lot of computer vision and machine learning technologies that are coming in, to the point that you can now create these models inside of Microsoft 365 that allow you to upload scanned in images or PDF documents, and it's going to pull out metadata. Metadata is that key pieces of information in there so that you could create a document library allowing you to upload, say, a bunch of invoices, and it's going to pull out the payment terms. It's going to pull out the bank details. It's going to pull out the supplier or vendor that sent you that invoice. It's going to pull out total value of the invoice and any other bits of information that's relevant in there. Maybe a purchase order number that if that's being published in there as well, pull this out and put this in additional fields, which is then accessible like a list. You can export this stuff into Excel and then analyze it, or create your Power Automate app to go and then feed that into your ERP or your financial system. And this is just the start. So if you're not thinking about this, or you're not investigating this, it's either you've got too many other fundamental things you need to take care of, or you're happy doing what you're doing and everyone else is just going to overtake you. It's unfortunately what's going to happen. So do yourself a favor, start learning about this stuff or ask an expert and get some advice in terms of how it can impact positively or negatively on your business. Really, the future right now in 2023 is looking to be AI.